Hello and welcome to yet another video on Spec Signals, presented by your mentor Vivek. Somewhere in the last 2 years, the job quietly changed and nobody sent a memo. Developers in one Q1 2026 survey reported 11.4 hours a week reviewing AI-generated code, against 9.8 hours actually writing it. Reviewing is now the bigger number. And once reviewing is the most expensive thing you do, everything about how you should be writing specifications changes. Let me give you the figures and the caveats together, because you should not take the first without the second. 2,847 developers across 320 organizations, surveyed between January and late March 2026. Median hours a week, 11.4 reviewing, 9.8 writing. Year over year, reviewing is up 31%, writing is up 8%. Now the honest part. This is one vendor-run survey, self-reported medians, not peer-reviewed, from a sample that chose to respond. So treat this as a direction, not as a precise measurement. The reason I still think it matters is that the direction matches what the last 2 episodes measured independently. The most interesting thing in that survey was not a number. It was the write-in answers. Respondents kept describing review fatigue, and the report names the 2 things teams do when the machine produces more code than a human can meaningfully review. They either merge work that nobody properly read, or they let pull requests queue up forever. Both of those showed up in 37% of the long form answers. Look at what those 2 failures have in common. Neither is a code generation problem. The machine did its job in both cases. Both are review capacity problems. Generation got cheap, and the bottleneck simply moved downstream to the one part that is still entirely human. So, where does a specification come into this? Reviewing without a specification means asking, is this code good? That question is unbounded. You have to hold the whole system in your head and imagine everything that might break. Reviewing with a specification means asking a much smaller question. Does this match what we agreed? That one is bounded and you can actually finish it. And that flips the economics. Back when writing code was the expensive part, a specification genuinely looked like overhead. Paperwork before the real work. Now that reviewing is the expensive part, the specification is close to the only lever that makes the expensive part cheaper. And it explains something we measured 2 episodes ago. Those teams making 20 or more commits to their agent guidance files were not being tidy. They were defending their review capacity. Every rule they wrote down is one less thing they have to catch by reading. So what changes on Monday morning? Here is a test for any specification you write. Could a reviewer who did not write this code decide, using the specification alone, whether the change is correct? If the answer is no, then what you have written is decoration. It documents intent, but it does not reduce anybody's workload. And one caution, because this series does not sell easy answers. A specification makes review cheaper. It does not make review optional. If nobody actually checks the code against the document, all you have done is move the unread thing from a pull request into a markdown file. So here is the signal. The bottleneck moved from typing to trusting. Specifications used to be about telling the machine what to build. Increasingly, They are about letting a human agree quickly and safely that it actually did. Write them for the reviewer. That is who is short of time now. If you found this useful, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for patient listening and see you in the next video. Until then, peace out.